You step outside to grab the mail. Maybe it's early morning, sun barely rising, or late afternoon after a long day. You barely glance at the mailbox anymore. It's just there, like the porch light or the garden hose. Maybe it leans a little, the paint's chipped, the flag rusted, but you've never thought twice about it. After all, it's just a mailbox, right? But what if that mailbox is the very reason things in your life have started to feel stuck? What if instead of simply holding letters, it's been holding back opportunities, clarity, even peace? In Feng Shui, the front of your house is more than curb appeal. It's where energy enters. And anything placed near your front door either welcomes or repels that energy. A mailbox, especially one that's broken, dirty, or misaligned, isn't neutral. It's a signal, a block, a mouth that speaks before you do. If yours is neglected, it might be telling the universe you're not open to receiving, that you're still holding on to things, that your life, your flow, is paused. Many people report feeling unsettled or weighed down without knowing why. Some say they've experienced unexpected losses or constant tension inside their homes. And often, these shifts begin with something as overlooked as a mailbox placed in the wrong spot, facing the wrong way, or filled with things that should have been cleared long ago. This video isn't about superstition. It's about awareness, about energy, about how something so small, so ordinary might be silently rewriting the story of your home. So take a moment. Look at the mailbox in front of your house, not with your eyes, but with attention. Ask yourself, is it still doing what it's meant to do? Or is it holding something that's no longer yours to carry? Part 1, the object that only receives, but never clears. You've probably never thought of your mailbox as anything more than a metal box that holds bills, coupons, and the occasional birthday card. But what if I told you it's one of the most overlooked energy anchors outside your home, quietly absorbing but never releasing? Every day it receives. It takes in news, requests, notices, warnings. Some mail brings joy. Some brings weight. And rarely do we consider how much emotional residue lingers inside. In Feng Shui, any entry point is an energy portal. It's a place where movement happens or doesn't. If something is only receiving without clearing, it becomes an energetic backlog. Imagine a conversation where you're never allowed to speak, only to listen every single day. That's your mailbox. Always open, always receiving, but never given the chance to release what it holds. Now imagine doing that for 5, 10, even 20 years. All that unspoken weight starts to compound, and it doesn't just stay in the box. It seeps into the energy field of your home, your front porch, your living room, your life. Think about it. When was the last time you cleaned out your mailbox, not just emptied the mail, but actually looked inside? Is there dust, rust, old envelopes stuck in the corners, molded flyers, forgotten return to senders? These aren't just physical objects, they're signals. They represent stories that were never finished, questions that were never answered, opportunities that were sent, but never seen. If the mailbox is the mouth of your home, then a blocked mouth means blocked communication. A broken hinge might symbolize something deeper. Expectations lost in limbo, messages that never reached you, support you didn't know was waiting. And the scary part is, this isn't metaphor. People who have shifted their front mailbox, cleaned it, repainted it, or simply moved it out of a blocked zone, have reported feeling lighter. They say unexpected money came through. Reconciliation with family, clarity in relationships, not because the box is magic, but because their home's energetic gate finally opened again. In many American homes, the mailbox is placed out of habit. Contractors install it in the most convenient location. We don't think twice. But from an energetic perspective, that placement matters. If it's directly in line with your door but misaligned energetically, crooked, tilted, or overwhelmed, it can act like a drain. The energy meant for your home hits resistance and scatters. Instead of nourishing your space, it dissipates. Instead of support, you get delay. Instead of peace, static. And yet we overlook it. We spend thousands on interiors, candles, plants, soft throws, meditation apps, while ignoring the first object the universe sees when it tries to send us something. The mailbox becomes the unsaid prayer, the thing we forgot to align. What's even more interesting is the psychological mirror it holds. For women especially, we're often taught to receive, to take in others' needs, emotions, chaos. But how often do we clear ourselves out? The mailbox becomes a symbol of this imbalance. Constant input, no release. And it's not about the mail itself, it's about what the box has come to represent: unfinished emotional loops, delayed decisions, missed timing. You might not think a broken flag matters, but that flag represents voice, movement, a signal to the world. When it's down, broken, or rusted, you are symbolically silenced. It's saying, nothing leaves here, so of course nothing flows. Of course your house feels heavy, your sleep feels shallow, your goals stall just before they manifest. The entry point isn't just cluttered, it's blocked. And the most dangerous kind of block is the one we don't see because we never imagined it mattered. So now I want you to look at your mailbox with new eyes. Not as hardware, as a symbol. Is it crooked, covered in grime, washed out by the sun, or is it clear, upright, grounded? Is it placed where energy can reach it gently and flow through it freely? Or is it in the path of chaos, cars, wind, confusion? This isn't about design, it's about permission. You get to choose whether the first thing your home receives every day is beauty or burden, a clear signal or static. You get to decide what gets to speak on your behalf before anyone ever knocks on your door. And if that little mailbox has been speaking the wrong message for too long, maybe it's time to rewrite the narrative, to repaint it, reseal it, realign it. Because when the energy around you starts to flow again, you don't just get more mail. You get messages that were meant for you all along, but couldn't get through the noise. Part 2, when the mailbox becomes a magnet for bad energy. You may think your mailbox is harmless, just a metal box mounted near your driveway or front porch. But energy doesn't measure intention. It responds to placement, shape, condition, and alignment. And in Feng Shui, that mailbox can become something far more dangerous than outdated design. It can become a magnet for bad energy. Let's be clear. In energetic terms, bad doesn't mean evil or cursed. It means stagnant, heavy, confused, unprocessed. It's the kind of energy that lingers, sticks to corners, clings to your skin even after a shower. It's the invisible pressure that builds when your home starts feeling tight, your sleep gets broken, your thoughts feel looped, and you don't know why. And often it starts right outside. Imagine this: your mailbox is rusting, its flag is bent. There's bird droppings on the top, spiders nest inside. Maybe the hinge squeaks or the door won't close fully anymore. These aren't small details, they're symptoms. They say, this space isn't tended. And just like weeds grow where attention dies, low vibration energy settles in places that feel abandoned. Your mailbox is the first point of energetic contact with your home. It's not just where the mail comes. It's where energy makes its first judgment call: do I enter or turn away? In Feng Shui, this is critical. The mouth of your home, the space where Kai first tries to enter, must be clear, open, and symbolically inviting. If your mailbox is neglected, it becomes a threshold of chaos. Energy flows like water. It seeks the path of least resistance. But if that path begins with grime, rust, and broken parts, it redirects. Worse, it stagnates. And stagnant energy is the enemy of growth. It's what makes you feel like you're walking in circles, like everything in your life is almost healed, almost balanced, almost better, and never quite arriving. There's also the matter of where the mailbox sits. Many American homes place the mailbox at the curb near the street or mounted beside the front door. But location matters. Is it too close to the trash bins? Is it directly facing a sharp corner or utility pole? Is it constantly in the shadow, never catching natural light? These factors all influence the kind of energy your home receives. Darkness, sharp edges, cluttered surroundings, these are classic signs of bad chi accumulation. Now imagine your mailbox is both neglected and misplaced. It becomes a receiver of all the wrong frequencies. Resentment from the street, stagnant traffic energy, electromagnetic stress from cables nearby. Over time, this doesn't just affect your home's chi, it affects you, your nervous system, your emotional resilience, your clarity. That heaviness you feel walking past the same front path every day. That weird tension between you and your partner that wasn't there last year. That slow, creeping fatigue that no supplement can fix. They may not start at the mailbox, but the mailbox may be what's letting them in. In Feng Shui, we often speak of shar kai, poison arrows created by sharp angles, neglected structures, or hostile design. A tilted mailbox directly facing your front door can act like a spiritual blade, cutting into your energy field every time you step outside. If it leans forward, it symbolically collapses on you. If it's too high or too low, it distorts balance. And if it's completely out of alignment with your front door, it breaks the energetic line, making your house invisible to good fortune while fully open to random chaos. You might notice this energetically before you even realize it physically. Maybe your front entrance always feels colder than the rest of the house. Maybe packages arrive late or lost. Maybe good news seems to stop just short of your home. These aren't coincidences. They're symptoms of blocked or distorted entrance energy. Energy doesn't need a reason to accumulate, it just needs space. And your mailbox, if left uncared for, provides plenty. Even worse is if you've allowed the inside to become a storage unit for more than just mail. Old coupons, letters you were too afraid to open, envelopes from people you no longer speak to, all of that carries a charge. Unread paper is not inert. It holds emotional residue. It stores memory. And your mailbox becomes the accidental altar to all the things you meant to deal with, but didn't. This isn't about guilt. It's about awareness, about reclaiming space that's supposed to support you. You don't need to turn your mailbox into a shrine, but you do need to clean it with intention. Rinse it out. Wipe it down, fix its tilt. Give it color that invites light, not absorbs it. Ground it in calm surroundings. Add a small symbol of welcome nearby, a flower pot, a wind chime, a soft light. These aren't decorations, they are energetic boundaries. You're telling the universe, this is a space that matters, this is a home that's awake. And perhaps most importantly, remove anything dead. Dead insects, dried leaves, expired notices. They are all literal and symbolic representations of energy that should have moved, but got stuck. A home that collects what no longer belongs always risks becoming a space of delay. What you allow to linger outside becomes what you allow to linger within. So the next time you walk past your mailbox, don't dismiss it as just a box. Ask, is it still working for me? Or has it become a magnet for everything I never asked for? Part 3, Misplaced, Misaligned, How a Mailbox Can Block Fortune. At first glance, a mailbox is just a fixed object. drilled into the ground, mounted to a post, maybe even cemented in. You'd think something so sturdy couldn't possibly interfere with your life. But when it comes to energy, it's not about strength. It's about direction. In Feng Shui, where something is placed and how it's aligned can either welcome wealth, peace, and clarity, or deflect it entirely. This is especially true at your home's entrance, where energy meets resistance or flow. And if your mailbox is in the wrong spot or facing the wrong way, it can silently block fortune without you ever realizing it. Think about how Kai, or life energy, flows. It doesn't just walk through the front door. It travels in curves, in gentle movement, in response to symbols and structures. That means the space in front of your house isn't just visual, it's a pathway. And everything in that path either opens the road or stands in the way. A mailbox placed directly in the energetic line of your front door, especially if misaligned, creates friction. Imagine a stream of water trying to enter your house, but it gets deflected by a wall before it even reaches the door. That wall energetically is your mailbox. Now ask yourself, where is yours? Is it too close to the driveway, nearly clipped by every passing car? Is it facing sideways, tilted at an angle, or positioned below eye level? These might seem like aesthetic details, but they carry energetic weight. A mailbox that's too low suggests weakness in support. One that's too high can symbolize pressure, overwhelm, or inaccessibility. A mailbox that slants toward the ground can represent decline, financial, emotional, or even physical. It's a silent suggestion that things in your life are leaning out of reach. Let's talk about direction. A mailbox facing away from your house, that is, one where the front side is turned outward, signals energy being sent out rather than received. In other words, the messages, blessings, and prosperity meant for you are being subtly redirected elsewhere. It's like putting up a welcome sign that accidentally faces the wrong street. No one shows up because no one knows where to go. Your intentions might be strong, but if your home's energetic symbols point away from you, they work against what you're trying to build. Now think about what this means on a practical level. Maybe you've been networking for weeks, but no career leads seem to land. Maybe opportunities almost happen, but then fall through. Maybe checks are delayed, clients disappear, or life just feels out of rhythm. This is how misaligned energy shows up. It's not always dramatic. It's subtle, inconsistent, frustratingly invisible. And it often stems from areas we dismiss as unimportant, like a mailbox nailed to a post, stuck in the wrong direction for years. There's also the symbolic positioning to consider. If your mailbox sits across from a dead tree, a sharp corner, or a long, straight road aimed directly at your house, it becomes an amplifier for negative energy. These directional clashes create something known in Feng Shui as cutting Kai, a sharp, aggressive force that rushes in too fast without balance. When this happens, the mailbox isn't just a block. It becomes a funnel for stress, overwhelm, and imbalance, channeling all of it straight to your front door. And remember, your front yard is not a neutral space. It's your buffer zone, your protective barrier between the outer world and your inner sanctuary. Anything placed in that zone needs to be intentional, aligned, and energetically supportive. A mailbox that's crooked, corroded, or visually chaotic disrupts that protective field. It breaks the harmony. And when harmony breaks, you feel it, financially, emotionally, spiritually. You might find yourself procrastinating more, arguing over little things, questioning your direction, losing things, missing messages. But the good news? This is one of the easiest fixes you can make. You don't need a full renovation or a spiritual cleansing. You just need to reposition what's out of place. Start by assessing the line between your mailbox and your front door. Is there a smooth, clear path of visual and energetic connection? Can Kai flow naturally from the mailbox toward your entrance, like a soft breeze carrying opportunity straight into your home? Or is the line blocked by bushes, bins, or structural elements that scatter that flow? Check the angle. Reposition the mailbox so that its opening faces your home, not the road, not the neighbor's fence. Let it speak to you symbolically. Let it say, I'm open, I'm ready, I'm connected to where I belong. Clean it, stabilize it, make sure it stands straight and firm, supported by solid ground, not loose soil. The more anchored your mailbox is, the more grounded your incoming energy becomes. And if your mailbox shares space with your neighbors or is part of a cluster, bring attention to that too. Add a subtle boundary. A planter, a stone, a tiny wind chime, something that marks your energetic territory even if shared. You're not just receiving mail, you're receiving influence, energy, momentum. Make it yours. Finally, ask yourself, does this mailbox represent who I am now? Or is it a leftover from who I used to be? A mailbox from a time when you didn't feel deserving, when you expected less, when you were still figuring things out. Because just like clothes, furniture, or photos, objects outside your home carry emotional timelines. And if your mailbox is aligned with a past version of you, it may be holding back a future that's trying to find you. So adjust it, lift it, turn it, honor it. Because sometimes the path to fortune isn't hidden inside the house, it's sitting quietly, 3 feet from the sidewalk, waiting to be seen. Part 4, Unsent Letters equals Unspoken Energy. You've emptied your mailbox 100 times, maybe more. Tossed the junk, stacked the bills, set aside the holiday cards. But do you know what never leaves? The energy of what wasn't said, of what wasn't answered, of what was never sent. That's the part we forget. And that's the part that lingers. Think about it, your mailbox isn't just a delivery point. It's a container, a holding space. A place where intentions pause between being formed and being received. And when that space is never cleared with intention, when old flyers decay in the corners, when birthday cards from 3 years ago curl beneath rubber bands, when sealed letters you couldn't bring yourself to open sit quietly under a rusted lid, something deeper starts to settle in. In Feng Shui, energy stagnates wherever flow is blocked. But not just physical flow, emotional, psychological, spiritual. The mail you avoid opening, the letters you meant to reply to but never did, the invitations you said maybe to and never followed up on, all of it accumulates as emotional residue. It lives in your mailbox whispering, this isn't done, this isn't processed, this is still weighing you down. And that weight doesn't stay outside, it leaks into your thoughts, your conversations, your momentum. Ever feel like your mornings start heavy for no reason? Like you're carrying something invisible before you've even stepped out the door. This is how stuck energy behaves. It hides in plain sight, stored in places you stopped seeing as meaningful. Because over time, the mailbox becomes an archive of the unsaid. That envelope from your sister you never opened after the argument. The return to sender marked in red from a job you applied for but didn't get. The letter you meant to send after the funeral but couldn't find the words. Those aren't just paper, they're memory. They're energy in limbo. And here's the truth most people miss. Unspoken words don't disappear. They lodge themselves in places. In the corners of a drawer, in the crease of a wallet, and yes, in the metal ribs of a mailbox. The very place meant to receive life becomes a vault of ghosts. Energetically, this creates emotional noise. A kind of low-frequency static that hums at the edge of your awareness. You don't quite notice it, but it's there, nudging your mood, pulling at your motivation, dulling your sense of joy. And the more you walk past it without seeing it, the stronger its hold becomes. Because energy responds to attention. What you ignore becomes unconscious clutter, and what becomes unconscious begins to control you from underneath. Now let's zoom in. Ask yourself, what's in your mailbox right now that doesn't belong? Not just expired coupons or tangled rubber bands, but energy that no longer has a purpose. Is there anything you're still holding because it represents something unfinished? A decision you haven't made, a truth you haven't spoken, a feeling you haven't released? This is about more than tidying. This is about energetic honesty. About letting go of the emotional cobwebs we stuff into small places. And your mailbox, small, outside, forgotten, is one of the easiest places for that buildup to begin. But it's also one of the easiest to reclaim. Start with a ritual, not a chore. Clear everything out. Wipe the inside down, dust the corners, throw away anything outdated or unread, not just physically, but symbolically. You're not just cleaning, you're closing a chapter. You're saying, this space no longer holds what I was afraid to face. It holds space for what's meant to come. Then pause, stand in front of the empty mailbox, take a breath, and ask, what message do I want to receive? What am I ready for now that I wasn't ready for before? Because here's the gift. Once the old energy is cleared, new energy can finally arrive. Letters from loved ones, invitations that feel aligned, news that brings peace instead of stress. But none of it gets in, not truly, if the first stop is still cluttered with what you couldn't face. And if there's something you've always meant to say, something you never sent, consider this your permission to write it. Write the letter. Don't worry if you never send it. Writing it is the act of release, of return, of closing the energetic loop that's kept you spinning. Drop it in the mailbox or don't. Burn it, bury it, keep it in a drawer. What matters is the expression. What matters is that it's no longer trapped inside. Unsent letters are unspoken emotions, and unspoken emotions shape how you walk through the world. They close doors before you even reach them. They silence your voice before you speak. They delay your joy before it's even born. But once spoken, once acknowledged, once honored, they soften, they let go. They become wind again, movement, possibility. And so does your home, so does your heart. So next time you check the mail, ask yourself, not just what you're receiving, but what you've been holding on to, and whether today might be the day to let it go. Part 5, your front message to the world, what that mailbox says about you. Before anyone sees you, they see your home. Before they hear your voice, they hear the silent message your space is broadcasting. And more often than not, that message begins with one small, overlooked object, the mailbox. It's the first thing a visitor walks past, the first symbol that delivery drivers, neighbors, and strangers absorb. But more importantly, it's the first object that energy meets before entering your home. And energy, like people, makes snap decisions. It reads signals fast. It senses before it speaks. And your mailbox may be speaking louder than you think. Ask yourself, what does your mailbox say about you? Is it clean, upright, well-anchored? Or is it tilted, chipped, barely standing? Is it modern and intentional? Or leftover from the last owner, the last version of you, the last decade? Because whether you realize it or not, that small structure is reflecting something back to the world about how you see yourself, about what you think you deserve, about what you're ready or not ready to receive. In Feng Shui, the exterior of your home is not just aesthetics, it's your energetic resume, and the mailbox is your opening line. It tells the world, here is how I care for my space. Here is how I receive communication. Here is what kind of energy is welcome. So if your mailbox is damaged or outdated, it might not just be a style issue. It might be reinforcing a narrative you've outgrown. A version of yourself who once settled for less, who stayed quiet, who expected little. And every time you walk past it without noticing, you reinforce that version. This isn't about perfection, it's about intention. Because the mailbox, as small as it is, holds potent symbolism. It's a space of receiving, of trust, of exchange. It says, I am here, I am ready, I am open to what the world has to offer. But if it's neglected, what does that say to the world? What does that say to you? And then there's the color, the shape, the placement. Are they in harmony with your home, or do they clash, stick out, interrupt the visual flow? A mailbox that doesn't match your house's energy sends mixed signals. It creates energetic static. It says one thing while the rest of your home says another. That dissonance, though subtle, affects how people feel before they even ring your doorbell. It affects how opportunity perceives your space. In Feng Shui, flow matters, harmony matters, and congruence between your inner self and your outer space creates an energetic invitation. It says, I am aligned. But when your exterior sends one story and your soul holds another, the universe hesitates. It senses confusion, uncertainty, a lack of readiness. That's why so many people report powerful shifts after making tiny exterior changes. A new mailbox, a painted front door, a cleaned path, because it's not about the object, it's about what that object is finally allowed to say. You might think, no one really notices my mailbox, but you do, even if unconsciously. You see it every time you come home, and what it represents either uplifts you or quietly drains you. If your mailbox is broken, it might be echoing a belief that your communication doesn't matter. If it's cluttered, it may reflect mental chaos. If it's forgotten, it might symbolize areas of your life where you felt invisible. These aren't coincidences. They're echoes, mirrors, symbols, and the good news is you get to change the message. You can repaint it, realign it, clean it with care. Add something simple, a soft, welcome light, a small wreath, a number that feels aligned, not to impress, but to express. To say, this is who I am now, this is what I'm ready to receive. This is the energy I wish to live in. This act, though small, is deeply empowering, because it tells your subconscious, I matter, my message matters, what I welcome into my life matters. And slowly, the outer begins to reflect the inner. People notice something different, though they can't quite name it. Mail arrives on time, neighbors pause to smile, conversations shift, and you feel more rooted, more clear, more connected to your own space. Because that's the secret no one talks about. Every object outside your home tells a story, and you get to choose what story is being told. So today, go outside. Stand in front of your house, not as the owner, but as someone seeing it for the first time. Look at the mailbox. What does it whisper about you? What message does it send to the world before you ever open your mouth? And then ask, is it the message I want people to feel? Is it the message I want energy to meet? If the answer is no, that's not failure. That's an invitation to update, to align, to evolve, because you're no longer who you were when that mailbox was installed. You've grown, softened, strengthened. You've done the hard inner work. Now it's time for your space to reflect it. Part 6, Unsealed Portals. The mailbox as an energetic gateway. Most people see their mailbox as closed, secure, private, sealed. But energetically, that's not always true. A mailbox is a portal, a threshold. And like any threshold left unchecked, it can become an open wound, leaking in energy that doesn't belong and leaking out the very stability you're trying to protect. Think about it. Your mailbox is a direct line from the outside world into your home's emotional space. It's where strangers reach you, where messages slip in, where your name, your address, your identity become physically linked to whatever shows up. It's a gateway that speaks both ways. But what if that gate has been left unsealed? What if the hinge is loose, the lid gaping, the structure cracked? You may be physically protected, but energetically exposed. In Feng Shui, all entry points are energetic openings. Windows, doors, vents, and yes, even a mailbox. And when those openings are left unsupervised, unprotected, or symbolically broken, they invite in not just air or dust, but misaligned Kai. Disoriented energy, lingering frequencies that don't harmonize with your space. You might not see it, but you've likely felt it. That strange emotional heaviness when you bring in the mail. The subtle anxiety that arrives with every envelope. The feeling that even in your own home you can't quite rest. These are signs of a portal left open too long, receiving without filtering, absorbing without discerning. Your mailbox, though small, is part of the boundary between your internal and external life. When it's energetically porous, when it leaks or absorbs instead of channels, it begins to affect more than mail. It begins to affect mood. Movement, motivation. Have you ever noticed the way some homes feel open, protected, warm, even if they're modest, and others, though elegant, feel cold or unsettled? That difference often lies not in the furniture or paint, but in the energetic sealing of the space. And the mailbox, as subtle as it is, plays a critical role. Because when energy flows through an unsealed portal, it doesn't just enter, it takes root. It lingers. If your mailbox is broken, energetically unstable, or symbolically disrespected, it may be pulling in restless, wandering energy. Like a door left cracked on a windy night, you can't always predict what slips through. And here's where it gets even more personal. Your mailbox isn't just a portal to your home, it's a portal to you. Your name is on it, your number, your location. That box doesn't just say mail here, it says this is who I am. And if that message is surrounded by disorder, disrepair, neglect, it sends out a frequency of confusion, exposure, and vulnerability. So ask yourself, what kind of energetic filter is your mailbox offering? Does it protect what comes in, or does it pass everything through? Joy, noise, stress, fear. Does it invite aligned messages, or does it let in whatever knocks the loudest? This matters, because in energy work, discernment is everything. Not everything meant for you is aligned for you. Not every letter is meant to enter your heart space. Your home deserves boundaries, and your mailbox is one of the first places to set them. So how do you seal the portal? First, physical integrity. The structure should be whole. No cracks, no gaps, no broken hinges. A mailbox that physically closes also sends a message that boundaries are active. Second, energetic cleansing. Just like you would clear your home with smoke, sound, or salt, clear your mailbox. Wipe it with intention. Use lemon water or sage spray. Place a small crystal or protective stone inside temporarily to absorb leftover frequency. Third, symbolic anchoring. Add an element nearby that represents clarity, light, for instance. A small solar lamp. A reflective strip, something that says this space is seen, watched, guarded, not in fear but in presence. Fourth, claim your message. Add your name clearly, make it intentional, beautiful, precise. When you claim space with clarity, you reduce chaos. You say, this is who I am, this is what I accept. And finally, check your feelings. When you approach your mailbox, do you flinch? Avoid eye contact. Rummage through mail with dread. That emotion is an echo of the energy lingering there. And it's a sign that the portal needs your attention, not as a box, but as a bridge. A sealed portal is not a closed heart. It's an aligned boundary. It lets in what's meant for you and keeps out what would harm you. And you deserve that. So as you walk past your mailbox tomorrow, pause, place your hand gently on the lid. Ask yourself not what's inside, but what's flowing through. And if it doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. Don't tell yourself it's just a box, because in Feng Shui, nothing is just a box, everything speaks. And the things we ignore often speak the loudest. Final, you might never have guessed that something as small, as silent, as routine as a mailbox could hold this much meaning. But now that you've seen it, really seen it, you can't unsee it. And maybe that's the gift. Not just of Feng Shui, but of presence. Of choosing to pay attention to the parts of your life that have always waited quietly outside your awareness. Because everything speaks. Every object on your path tells a story about who you are, what you believe, what you're ready for, and what you've unconsciously closed the door to. So let's pause. Let's trace it back. If your mailbox is broken, what else in your life has gone unrepaired? If your mailbox is cluttered, what emotions or memories are you still carrying that need to be cleared? If your mailbox faces away from your home, what part of you has turned away from receiving? If your mailbox is quiet, rusted, untouched, what dreams have you stopped expecting to arrive? These aren't metaphors for the sake of poetry. These are patterns, energetic reflections. And once you recognize them, you start to realize the outside world is not separate from your inner life. Your space, your home, is always telling the truth about what's going on beneath the surface. And the truth is, you don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to panic about your mailbox. You simply need to ask yourself one honest question. Is what surrounds me still aligned with who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, that's not failure. That's the threshold. That's the beginning of return. So maybe today the shift begins not with a major renovation or spiritual breakthrough, but with the turn of a key, the feel of cool metal, the decision to open, to clear, to realign. Maybe the message you've been waiting for has already arrived, just sitting in the wrong box, at the wrong angle, hidden behind something you forgot to throw away. And maybe now you're finally ready to receive it, so go ahead. Open the box, not just with your hand, but with your awareness. Let what's no longer yours go. Let what's been trying to reach you come in. And as you do, ask yourself gently, what if this was never just a mailbox, but a mirror? Then stand still and listen.